This is Jennifer Harris with Teach Now, and I'm here with my mentor teacher for second grade at Bethlehem Lutheran School, Kim Von Holt, and we are going to have our discussion. So we will start by, Kim is going to share with me what her second grade classroom routines are.
Okay, so our routine is a little bit different every day based on when we have our specials or our scheduled activities out of the classroom. And so typically, though, we'll start every morning with devotions. So we'll start that with our pledges, our prayers, our devotion time. After religion time, we go into our language arts block or our reading block. And during that time, we'll do reading lesson. We'll do our phonics lessons. We'll do grammar and writing types of things. That tends to go from 9 o'clock-ish until about lunchtime. But that covers all of those skills.
So do you do some whole class work and some breaking into small groups during that time?
Some days, yes. On Wednesdays, I've got 2 volunteers from church who come in, 2 mentors from church who come in, and they help me with small groups. And then sometimes, depending on time, we have the chance to be able to break into groups for some phonics stuff as well. Most of our phonics is done whole group. And then when we do like when we read a story initially, the introduction and everything, we do whole class.
Okay.
Which you'll see when you come in.
Right.
They come in the morning. I always have something for them to work on. So they should come in, work on getting their pencil sharpened, turn any homework in that they had from the night before, and then they'll sit down and get to work on whatever it is that I have planned for their morning activity that day.
That sounds really thorough. And you assign different jobs and it rotates every week. Do they have the same job every week or does it change by day?
No, it changes every week. It's actually right up here behind you.
Oh, okay.
And so they stay on the same job for the week.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you could tell me about the phonics system. I'm really interested in that.
It's going to take some time to get used to, but I'll just briefly overview it for you here.
That's great, thanks.
Okay, so our phonics boards, we use a program called CR Success, and we just started it this year.
Okay.
So it's new to all of us. And so kindergarten, first, second, third grade are the grades that we started it in this year. And then fourth and fifth are considering adding it for next year, but they wanted to see how it went. And so what we do is based on whatever our concept is for the week, sometimes we'll add new tiles to our magnetic board. Sometimes we won't. For example, last week our concept was the long E sound spelled in one syllable words and multi-syllabic words. And so when we go through the lesson, it's kind of broken up where we'll do a little bit of, they have to look at the board, do whole class with me up there, and then we move a little bit to them showing me some work here. So when we move to the boards, oftentimes I'll ask them we call it pinch and write. It is a fully scripted curriculum right now that we're using. And that helps us also be able to teach them the rules or the concepts very well. For example, when we're talking about working with short vowel sounds and closed syllables, they'll pull down, for example, if it was run, they'd pull down R-U-N.
Okay.
And so that kind of goes with that. It is one of those things, too. Our spelling words have gotten a lot harder, but I've been really impressed with how well the kids have taken to that and picked up on it.
So you're liking it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of how well the curriculum is working with them on teaching those skills.
I like it. I like that they all have their own folder, their own magnetic folder.
Yeah.
Okay, that kind of goes in. Are there any lessons that you would like me to teach the first week or when I come in, or write or follow a script or just watch you for a while?
The first couple days I think I'll have you watch me. But then after that, I will probably throw you into math right away.
Okay.
And the reason for that is our math is scripted.
Okay.
Because we use Saxon. And so, so it's easy to go off of to start building your plans or your lessons around.
Perfect.
And then after math, I'll probably also have you start on science right away. And so those will probably be the first two subjects I'll start you out with.
Okay. Okay, do you have any expectations for me coming in? You shared about the lessons you'll have me start out with, math and science.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you what I give my parents at the beginning of the year, just so you can kind of look it over.
Okay.
It lets you know a little bit about what happens or goes on in second grade.
Great.
But then it also will kind of tell you like our classroom expectations or our classroom rules, and how I handle discipline. And we can discuss those things too, like as we go. And, you know, obviously you can always ask questions and those types of things.
Okay.
And so expectations for me are just, I guess, from me right now are, you know, simply don't be afraid to ask me a question.
Okay.
You know, even if it's a matter of, I was curious as to why you handled this that way or anything of that sort, I'm more than happy to talk through or talk about.
Great.
That's, you know, that's kind of where it's at. You know, come and ask me questions because I definitely don't remember being in your shoes as well as,
Yeah.
you know, some might.
Yeah.
It's been 18 years for me. So, you know, as far as other things go, we as a staff are typically here by 7:30 in the morning. And then we're here for sure through 3:30 when Carline finishes.
Perfect. And speaking of greeting them, could you tell me a little bit about the students? You said you have 20, and if you have any that have any kind of special needs or that you do any kind of special accommodations for.
Yeah, so we have one in here who's dyslexic.
Okay.
And so we do some modifications for him in that oftentimes, depending on what the lesson is or what the work is, he'll dictate things to me and I'll write them for him. Or he'll have fewer things asked of
Right.
him. And oftentimes he's really good to, you know, if it's a matter of just filling in a blank type of thing with a word box or word choice thing, he's really good about asking, can I draw lines? And he'll draw lines from the word to the blank or those types of things. He works with Mrs. Kampschneider, our reading specialist, twice a week.
Okay.
His hardest thing from my perspective is focusing.
Okay.
And so he's always at the front in the middle. And that way I can help him stay on track as we're working through things. There are two others that work with our reading specialist. There's not a diagnosed piece for them, but they definitely struggle more with reading. And so they work with her twice a week as well. When they go with her, they get a little bit more of the phonics work. Other than that, though, there are not any kids that have any special modifications or adaptations. Yeah.
So kind of springboarding off the kids that have some accommodations and the one with the diagnosed dyslexia, on the rubric here in the standard 2 where it talks about the learning differences, there's more than just disabilities, but part of it talks about the disabilities and with the special needs here.
Uh-huh.
And so that's kind of how the rubric gives a range of things that you can look at all the way from incomplete to outstanding that I'll be doing to help the students, you know, differentiate and make sure that they're learning to the best of their ability in the classroom.
Yes.
Okay. And then we'll get into the rubric more as I do my student teaching, but
Okay.
it's got 10 different categories and
Okay.
then the different range on each category.
Okay.
So
Very good. Do you have, like, are they going to give you a lesson plan format they want you to follow?
they do.
Okay.
And so I think if you have a way that you can teach me, then I can, it's a template. And
Okay.
so then I can do that. And a lot of times, and differentiation is required on that. And
Okay.
with the note cards I was talking about earlier, there's
Okay.
different kinds of activities. So it's not just all seat work and not just all lecture. Is
Right.
They want it to be student-centered and they're
Right.
engaged in learning.
Yes. Okay. I know I will be doing some evaluation of you. Do they also send somebody to do evaluation of you?
No, I will
Okay.
be turning in basically homework and then some videos. And I think we're good for our meeting. So thank you so much
Okay,
for your
you're
time.
welcome.
I'm going to stop this here.